Hey everyone, this is Dan, the GM, bringing you episode 155 of What the Dice. Have you joined our Discord? You should join our Discord. We've got all sorts of cool stuff going on, and we got amazing people there, and it would be great for you to join us. I know you are super excited for this week's episode because it is the beginning of combat, and combat is always fun, except if you're the GM and all your creatures keep dying, and I just can't beat them. Well, I will eventually. Maybe. We'll see. Nonetheless, we're having fun. We hope you're having fun. I'm going to shut up and let you get on with this week's episode. Enjoy, my friends. Enjoy. The storms of the day have finally passed and disappeared into the darkness. We look up and we can watch as the setting sun paints the skies in purples and oranges and blues. It's been a long day, to say the least, traveling from vendor to vendor trying to restock our supplies. Supplies are getting low again. There's rumor of a war brewing once again. Seems as if the orcs have decided to start war camping again. But that's not why we're here. We're here looking for the storyteller. At the same time we always show up, and he is nowhere to be found. As our attention slowly returns from the ocean to the fire, the storyteller is sitting by the campfire, book open.
Well, me friends, it seems as if you beat me here. Well, that's nonetheless. I hope you have been dealing with this uprise of war and kept yourself safe. I know the Adventurers Guild has a bad habit of sending warriors out where danger is. Well, speaking of warriors and speaking of danger, it's time for us to continue our tale, is it not? Last we spoke, the massive window in Casimar's home was bashed and shattered open as the Fey Queen made herself known, as it's time for her to take her vengeance on all the Fey that the adventurers have slain. Sit back, relax, and hear me tale.
In the last episode, the adventurers got a chance to scry and spoke to a Persephone, a female vampire that is the master, creator, and friend and lover of Casimir. Speaking to her from a scrying mirror, she replied using her own scrying mirror, revealing to them that she was given this ability from the Father of Shadows. During this conversation, they had got a chance to see that Leoris was not found, but theoretically could only be in a small area in the main continent, somewhere between the Elven Islands and the Orc Mountains. After dealing with that, they found the last black crystal, and with 2 skillful shots, they cracked it, shattering it with an explosive result. The energy pulse of explosion sent items and books and debris in all directions, hitting both Kalila and Defibulus. After the shattering, they felt this cold chill as the manor itself seems to resummon its servants. The lights are on, but they hear something smashing at the windows. And as they open up Casimar's bedroom doors, there's the giant fairy queen smashing at the window. And where we left off was Kalila casted Grevbow, and the glass shatters. Let me find my D20. That is going to be the boss fight 20. I think I have found it. We are going to start this episode with a little thing called an initial roll. Please give me your initiative.
10.
Nat 20, so 29.
And from me... Well, Defibulus, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your dex modifier?
+7.
Okay, so roll off. I rolled a 17 on die. What'd you get?
Roll Nat 20 again.
All right, so you are first. Defibulus, as you are now looking at this Fae, and it is your round, I need a will check.
21.
All right, you're good. Your round.
Hey, Kalila, isn't she a little big to be a Fae?
Oh, she's very big for a Fae.
Defibulus will take aim at her. Be like, all right, who sent you?
She just screams at you.
Use your indoor voice now while he shoots her.
All right, roll to hit.
42.
That is a hit.
17 damage. I'm going to shoot her in the leg using my targeting skill.
Okay.
Sorry, mathing 1 second.
Yep, go for it.
A 47 to hit.
That is a hit.
Alrighty, so shooting her in the leg on hit, the target is damaged normally and knocked prone. Creatures that have 4 or more legs are immune to a trip attack and immune to this type of effect. So I'm knocking her down by shooting her in the kneecap because I'm a horrible person.
Does that work for creatures that fly?
It doesn't state anything about flying creatures. It just says creatures that have more than 4 legs.
I would imagine you can't knock something prone that is flying.
I mean, if that doesn't work, I could just redirect it to her wing instead, because they do have one for wings, apparently.
I will allow you to call that for the wing.
Alright, on hit, the target is damaged normally and must make a DC 20 to fly, check, or fall 20 feet.
She passes.
Well, there. Now I shot her in the wing now.
What's the damage on that?
Oh, right. You want the damage.
I mean, if you don't want to damage her, I'm cool with that too.
Oh, no. I want to damage her. 22 damage to that wing.
Okay. It is the Fae's turn. The strange Fae disappears into this black ichorish mist and reappears 10 feet away from both of you.
Oh, dear Lord.
And she is going after Kalila.
Meow, meow.
Does a 40 hit?
Yeah, 40 will do it.
The Fae literally has leaned in and has bitten down on you, so she has you by your midsection. 14 points of damage, and you are now grabbed.
Can I still shoot her?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And to get out, you have to beat her CMD. So you can roll Escape Artist or anything like that. I think you can also use Athletics.
Does that count as like my move or my action, or is that in
It would count as your move. But you are now in the maws of a giant Fae.
Does it mean that it's easier to hit her?
Does not change her AC.
Why not? It's right there.
Because you have some sharpened teeth digging into your fleshy bits.
I mean, all right, I guess that's fair. But I didn't want to stay there anyway, so I will attempt to get out of her bitiness
Okay.
before trying to shoot her.
Okay.
Am I rolling CMB or CM? D?
You're rolling CMB.
B.
And it is against her CMD.
How is a 26?
You are still grappled.
That doesn't seem fair, but all right. Being frustrated that she's getting bit on and can't get out of that. Kalila, having grav bow, is going to use rapid shot.
Okay.
Meaning I can fire an additional time this round. So I believe that means I can shoot her 3 times.
Yes.
With a -2 penalty, I believe.
I thought it would be 4 times because I thought, don't you get 3 shots around anyway?
Yes, I can fire up to 3 shots, I believe. So yes, I'm going to very quickly fire as many arrows as I can into her to hopefully get her off of me or make her regret her decisions.
Okay.
First one is a 32.
That is a hit.
I'm just going to roll all of them so I know how much I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Second one I'm pretty sure is a miss at a 27.
Miss.
Mathing. 37.
Hit.
29.
Miss. So 2 of your shots are hits.
Alrighty then. Oh, and with grav bow, I believe I use a D12. That I do. First arrow. 27 points of damage.
Okay.
Second arrow. 30 points of damage.
Okay.
And then a Hugin and a Mugen. Which can Hugin attempt to tackle her off of me?
Yes, with a -4, Hugin can attempt to help get you out.
And he would be rolling which one? CMB or CMD?
CMB.
And that'll count as a move, so if it fails, he can still attack.
Correct.
All right, he's going to attempt to help a Kalila get out of the grasps of this Fae. 23.
I'm sorry, this doesn't help you either.
All right, well, when his spidey little arms fail to help his cat master free, he is going to take advantage of it and use a new ability of Improved Vital Strike.
Okay.
Does a 30 hit?
Yes. Because I'm giving her minuses for having you in grapple.
That, and technically it would be flanked now at this point.
Oh, no, yeah. Since she's flank, yeah, definitely hit with flank.
I'm assuming it's going to be his bite damage, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And with a mighty, mighty bite, straight into probably the back of her leg, since he failed to pull this Fae off of Kalila, he will sink his fangs in deep for 22 points of damage. And a poison bite. Ooh. With 5 additional points of venom pumping into this thing.
That makes it Mugen's turn.
Mugen is going to come up and, instead of firing missiles, because there's a little bit of an explosion there, he is going to come up and do a claw attack on the other side of this leg. Using both his little robotic ratty claws. That was a nat 20 for a Mugen.
Nice.
Pulling up his little claw damage. Which is 10 points of damage for the first claw attack, because he gets 2. Unless I'm misreading that. Do I roll again, or is it just 2d4 because he's using both paws?
No, it's 2. It's swipe, swipe.
Yeah, so a d4, d4. Do I get a second attack with him?
Yes.
Awesome, then he will rake again. Oh wait, I forgot to times that by 2. So it would have been 16 points of damage.
Got it.
And does a 21.
That is a miss.
Okay, he misses on his second attack.
Defibulous, your round.
Get her off me!
I'm working at it. All right. I'm going to take one of my attacks. And I'm going to launch my my box of angry turtles.
Oh, the little turtle.
Since she's already flanked by Hugin and Mugen, he'll have the little turtles just kind of surround her.
Bite, 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 bite.
Yes. You don't have to try to slowly run across the screen.
Right? They're being released right on top of her.
Yep. So do you want me to have them do their damage at the end of my turn, or how do you want that done?
They will do it at the end of your turn.
Okay.
What else is Defibulous doing then?
I'm trying to determine if there's a way actually Defibulous can help you get out of her mouth.
I mean, I would assume if she takes enough damage, she's gonna get the heck off of me, but I could be wrong.
I'm gonna spend another grit point, leaving me with 1 point of grit, and I'm gonna shoot her in the back of. I'm gonna shoot her in her head.
Okay.
And see if that will get her to drop her, because it says on hit target is damaged normally, and the target is confused for 1 round. This is a mind affecting effect, if that even works.
I will roll a percentiles if you hit to see if she drops Kalila.
I got her with a nat 20.
Nice.
Give me your damage.
Yeah, figuring. 64 damage to her head.
Okay.
And Kalila, you would get an target of opportunity at that point.
Yes, I would.
Well, I need to know first. High or low?
Hi.
All right, Kalila, you have been dropped. I'm not going to give you the attack of opportunity, though, but I will give you the reflex check not to hit the ground and take damage.
Cat-like reflexes. Am I doing reflex or acrobatics?
Either one. Give me your higher.
31.
31? Yeah, you land on your feet, but you are literally right in front of this Fae. Like, nose to nose.
Well, I believe it's her turn.
Nope, it's the turtle's turn. Okay, they are all going to bite her.
Kalila's just gonna smirk, look at this Fae, and go, guess what? Turtle power! I had to.
I thought we determined we were going to go off your melee. I think what we'll do is we'll base it off your melee. That way they grow with you.
So you want me to roll their melee attack? Roll for a melee attack against them then? You want me to roll for them all at once, or roll 8 individual times?
8 individual times. There's 8 of them. Okay, then anything above a 30 is a hit.
All right, so 6 hit, 2 didn't, and 1 crit.
Okay. What's your damage?
1 second, let me roll the dice for that. 42 points of damage from the little turtles.
Okay. She looks pretty wounded, and it is her turn. You know what? Let's see who she goes after. Where's my D8?
Since we gave her so many blasted targets to swing at.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Kalila.
Again.
She is looking down at you, licking her lips. Apparently she is not done chomping on you.
Bring it.
Does a 29 hit.
On the mark, but Black Cat roll again with a +4 penalty.
26.
It is a miss.
All right. So she basically, you step back just as she chomps down. Defibulous. Her eyes look towards you. 38. Does a 38 hit?
Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
Congratulations. You are now in the maw of a nasty-looking Fae. 9 points of damage. And what is your CMD?
CMD or CMB?
CMD.
D looks like for grapple is a 34.
All right. You're good. All right. So you've just been chomped. Kalila, your turn.
So he just got chomped. He didn't get grappled like me.
Nope. I didn't roll high enough on the bite.
Alrighty man. Then Kalila is going to do a new ability of Clustered Shot, which is me taking a nice careful aim of shots, and I'm going to cluster them to strike near all in the same spot, which, important for you to know, if she has DR, instead of subtracting it per arrow, you only get to subtract it once from the total amount of damage I do.
Okay.
Which means I believe I get to fire 3 arrows into one spot, yes?
Yes.
Okay, because it is a full attack. But I'm at least going to move behind her, so it's a better flanking bonus.
Okay.
Or more to ensure that the flanking bonus happens, because it's a little hard to know exactly where she's at.
She is a large creature.
And do I get an opportunity attack to shoot her since Kalila shot her?
Only if I hit.
Ah, gotcha.
It has to be a successful hit. So let me give them rolls.
That's my bad. I thought you had rolled already.
No. I was just confirming my stuffs. But I believe I get a +4 or 2 to something because we're flanking to my hits.
+4.
Thank you. Does a 36 hit?
It does.
A 44, I'm assuming.
That is a hit,
And another 40.
and that is a hit as well.
All right, so with a quick drawback of her bow and 3 quick releases, Kalila's taking special aim to land 3 of them in a very tight cluster in her back. 4.
Case of acupuncture gone wrong.
Or right.
She did 3 attacks. Does that mean an attack of opportunity for each one, or just one altogether?
It's one.
Okay, I just wanted to figure that out.
101 points of damage.
Kalila, please describe your kill.
Kalila, seeing Defibulus get chomped and nearly grappled much like her, would give a very low growl as she would skillfully maneuver behind the Fae, pull back her bow, loading it with her gator teeth arrow that she has made herself, notch them back powerfully with a deep breath, and a mumble under her breath of Desna strike me true, and launch 3 arrows into the center of her spine, back to back to back to one another.
As the final arrow pierces the flesh of this corrupted Fae, there are beams of holy light that pierce out of different wounds that she has occurred in the battle, and you can almost see her ichor wings start to crack and make the wings of a butterfly as it just ashes before you. As the dust clears, you feel quietness and peace as the last of the corrupted Fae have now been struck down.
Kalila will lower her bow, going, I think we got them all.
Maybe just will slowly get up going, ow.
Yeah, her teeth hurt.
I don't know which was worse, the teeth or the fall.
Yeah, she'll pull from the bag of holding a potion of healing for both of them.
I had to have the flask so I could wash out the face slobber.
She'll offer the ever-flowing thingy of water.
Thank you.
And the large potion is 2d8 plus 1, by the way. So you can roll your own numbers and heal yourself. So I do the same. Did this Fae also poof into ash, or is her body actually still here?
No, it is poofed into ash.
Okay. Well, Kalila will take a deep breath after drinking a healing potion and look at Defibulus going, I think other than maybe looking around the grounds, but I'm pretty sure that was the last of them.
I'm sorry, I was telling the turtles they were doing a good job. What?
They were wonderful little heroes.
He's like, you guys are gonna get yourself an oil bath when we get back to a town with good oil and a paint job. I really wish you guys could stick around all the time.
I mean, you could always get them out more. Shall we go return the key to Kazimar and tell him it's safe to return home finally?
And then interrogate him?
And interrogate the crap out of him.
Yep, let's go.
As you make your way out and down the steps and opening up the front door, you see the hellhounds are staring at you. Heads cocked as you hear Kazimar snap his fingers. The pups split as he walks towards you.
That was convenient.
Very.
Well, we saw the energy explosion from town. So I figured something has gone well. And when I saw my pups were unharmed, I assumed you had completed your mission.
Because ironically, your pups were having quite the time chasing the Fae around the yard, biting them.
They are good at what they do, except when they get swarmed.
Questions, and we have messages for you.
Messages from whom?
Persephone?
He raises an eyebrow. Let us go inside and speak then.
Don't mind the mess, although we didn't cause any of it.
Very little of it did we cause.
My servants will clean them, and I will probably hire a few of the rats from town to assist in that. He walks you upstairs and sits in the living room, looking around at the damages, and he seems to let out a slow sigh as he sits.
Like I said, quite the mess, not our fault. The Fae had fun destroying things.
Yes, and it seems they were targeting Leonis first.
First and foremost, yes.
Partly what is our questions are mostly around.
Well, I can answer what I can, but Leonis has been a mystery since he disappeared that day.
Did you ever find him? Last we have discovered you were talking about a particular mountain region with elves and orcs, and was in a heated debate.
No, me and my friends decided that if he chose to leave and walk away, that was his decision, and nothing we say or do would have brought him back.
So you never found where he ran away to?
We sectioned it to the Elvins area and maybe possible mountain areas, but we all decided it was his choice. And something he said to Everest seemed to dissuade him from pushing too much further.
Did you ever get a good look at the ring that Leoris is wearing?
The wedding bands, when they first were married, they were made of a beautiful silver inlaid with mithril. When he returned with his wife, they were a darkened metal, almost like a cold iron, and it had an ornate flower. Probably something in the large petal family.
Defibrillus will flip through his book, something like this, and show him a picture of like the bone god symbol that they keep coming across.
He looks at it and kind of gives it a light shrug, and he's like, something similar. Like I said, it's a multi-petaled flower. They all, when
made into a ring all fairly look similar.
Because we have a theory that we know who helped him.
Oh,
Same person, the same problem that everyone else is dealing with, the bone god.
now the Bone God's a fairly new god, is what I've come to understand. Or shall I say he is more of a resurrected god?
Resurrected is more accurate. He's been around for some time,
But what if he's just been slowly
building power.
building power, and Leoris was one of the people he convinced to do his bidding by bringing back his dead wife?
Well, he is the only god that was able to do said things. Leoris reached out to many gods and many clerics to have his wife brought back. He was distraught, and distraught people go to many extremes.
That is true. Other than some, well, this dives more into the personal nature since we already brought up the name and we've discovered who Persephone is. It's interesting that all of you, there's a theme. You all go to the undead, a lich, a contract to the lich to be undead. You became a vampire. And if our theory is correct with Leoris, we're curious how you found the vampire path.
He leans back in the chair slowly and smiles. He goes, Persephone and I had been friends for a long time. When I met her, she was a noble woman, one that contracted us to protect her. And this was when we were young, just starting out. Adventuring guilds were all the rage. And I joined the group at that point. Persephone hired us several times after that. Every time, her beauty never changed. And I always asked her, and she just said that the gods blessed her with a gift. That was all I ever got. After the Day of Blood, and I found that I was cursed with becoming an abomination, something that would seek out and destroy, unless I destroyed my mortal coil. I reached out to Persephone and explained it all to her. It seemed as if whatever that war chief did, he found a way to strike one final blow to the heroes that defeated him. Those covered in his blood would be hunted by death stalkers. And if you did not find a way to destroy your mortal coil, not using a blade, not dying of age, you would come back as something dark and feral. Something that would hunt down any living creature and devour it, for no other reason than a hatred for the living. So each of us found a path, a way to fight off the Death Stalkers, breaking the curse, but being able to continue finding a way to better the world. We didn't become heroes to be celebrated. We became heroes to do good. It took us years before people started to see past the death, the lifelessness that we all had. The Rat Kingdom here accepted us most willingly, and we don't know if that was because we wanted to purchase this old inn, or because we were willing to follow every rule, no matter how convoluted it was, to prove our loyalty, to protect them, to help protect them.
Clara will just nod. She goes, I was baffled at the beginning of accepting this quest as to why this town wouldn't help you, and especially after learning exactly who you were. Why no one would lift a finger to help you reclaim your mansion. As you said, and as it has been kind of stated, this rat village, kingdom, city is filled with skilled, retired adventurers. I mean, okay, yeah, you're all retired, but really?
This manor is very close to Fey territory. And this manor is an old inn that we purchased. And part of purchasing it was they would provide no assistance in protecting it. Because it is on the outreach, it would be more dangerous for them to travel here to help protect it. So I summoned the Hellhounds, and they usually do a very good job at it.
Well, normally you
But-
don't have corrupted Fae to worry about. I would imagine before the corruption, the Fae relatively left you alone.
Right. So our forefront, our primary purpose is to assist in protecting the innocent. And if that means giving up my home to do so, I would do so.
Now, I'm just curious on why these corrupted Fae would just only target Leoris. Just straight out target everything about him here.
You'll notice that as you walk around, all of the things that are related to Leoris in every room is been attempted to be destroyed, down to the journal pages, as she pulls out an old journal page that she found that was obviously trying to be burned.
He looks at the torn up painting and sighs lightly, and Leoris wanted to be a hero, to be known, wanted to prove to his kingdom that he was the best. Unless he has changed his ways, I would imagine he wants to still be known. But he never, when he left this home, he never wanted us to remember him. We were a stain on his existence, is what it felt like. He was living. He was unbound by the curse. Why would a hero want to associate himself with a lich, a bound corpse, and a vampire?
Why was he not affected by the curse then?
I don't know. He had just as much blood on him as we all did. But it seemed that he got away from the death curse without having to use, or without having to lose his mortal coil.
Kalila will hold up a paw with like one finger and look at Defibulus. She goes, I wonder if he made a pact with the bone god.
Highly possible. Oh, by the way, before we get completely off track here, Persephone wanted us to tell you that she misses you and she's sorry for not teaching you everything she could have.
Her exact words.
He stares at you guys in confusion, disbelief, confusion.
Kalila will sigh and pull the scrying mirror out from the bag of holding, going, we were going to return this to Everest after talking to you because we felt it belonged back in his hands.
He nods.
That day you were arguing in the map room and she excused herself.
And she said she went to go get some wine, if I remember right.
Sounds accurate.
We keep a blood wine for us.
Yeah. She actually excused herself out into the living room and scried back to us. It's confusing, I know.
He stares at you for a moment, and scrying is only used to look back or to look to something that is going on at that moment.
Yeah, she somehow saw us scrying over you when you were all discussing about the map stuff, and she excused herself and came and talked to us. We were just as confused.
He thinks about it and he goes, she did say something about blood magic having unusual abilities, but I've never That's not something I've ever seen in my studies.
She said something that it was a gift from, was it her god or her master?
Shadow God or whoever it was.
Yeah, somebody in the shadows.
Father of the Shadows?
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
that
it.
one.
Father of the shadows.
Ah, yes. Well, that is a forgotten knowledge at best, if not best kept secret. Something I will probably never learn. For mostly, I have no interest in it. So, the Fae were destroying Leoris's paintings. His room, I assume, is completely destroyed.
Ransacked
Yeah.
and destroyed. The elven flags have all been burned and torn apart. Every picture and painting of him has been torn out. Nothing like they tore just him out of it. Didn't touch the rest of you
Yeah.
guys.
They were unbothered by anything if it was you or
The others.
Auric or Everest.
Hmm. He gives a light shrug. Well, I'm not sure on that. Fae, at least these strange corrupted Fae, are primal and bestial at best.
Or I wonder, could someone be pulling the strings and trying to? Because I mean, they even sought out his journals and tore them apart and burned them.
Yeah, both libraries had either a lot of Fae destroying a bunch of things gleefully, or there was those crystals that seemed to be grounding in some way.
Keeping into the foundation of the place.
Yeah, giving the Fae a corrupted holding.
But they even scratched his name out of the brass fixtures you had of him. Scratched the name out, just completely deleting him.
Well, any good sorcerer mage would know. Anyone who even deals with Damon would know when name is power. He looks out to his room and sees the shattered glass and the shattered window and nods. Well, all of this aside, I will let Everest and Auroch know that the home is safe to return to. I am sure we will have much to do to clean up. I see the servants have resurrected themselves to work, which is a good sign. They are a combination of cleric and necromantic magic. But I believe that our contract is completed.
Yes. She goes, again, holding up the mirror, I wanted to give this back to Everest. I can either do it myself, or if you wish to return it to him.
Well, as promised, we will all need to reconvene to get you to the mainland, and I believe that Auroch has something that belongs to you.
Yes, so we were going to be going down there anyways.
Well, I do still have to pay my tab at the inn, and I can always pay for one night for you all to rest. We will not be able to send you until the morning.
We've already paid for the room for the night. That's quite all right.
He nods. Well, let us get us back to town and get settled for the night.
At this point, I would want to make sure this mirror gets safeguarded because it seems to be the most accurate version of an account of what happened with you guys, even dealing with Leors. It hasn't been destroyed.
He holds his hand down. I can take it.
Kalila will hand it to him. She goes, we just figured since it was here and the Fae got here, we were going to give it back to Everest and the Lich down in their dungeon.
Yes, that is. They still stay here. There was a lot of children that needed extra training and with the city being attacked, it was easier to help protect the children in the training dungeons.
Fair. We just didn't want you to think we were taking it for ourselves. We just wanted to make sure it was safe.
He smiles and he goes, I was an adventurer once. If it is not nailed down, it seems to be fair game. And if it is nailed down, it just means you need a little bit extra strength to take it with you.
She smirks. She goes, we actually had some moral dilemma of even rifling through some things in here, so.
He nods and he goes, well, it is nice to have my home back. estate aside, it is nice to be able to reclaim something that belonged to my friends and I, even if 3 of us are dead and one is chosen to walk away.
Well, the one that chose to walk away was his own doing, but at least you have your 3 friendships. She'd smirk looking at Amphibious going, probably when we're done, we're going to be like you guys, just less undead.
I'll play.
He nods and he goes, "You're only as dead as you feel."
Oh, I did.
Fair.
I did learn that you guys met my uncle, though.
He raises an eyebrow and he goes, "Who was your uncle?"
He would have gone by a last name Short Bolt.
Wielded a crowbar.
Ah, yes. Yes. He actually tried to fight Auroch, calling him an abomination, and then Auroch just promptly booted him out of the dungeon, and he went about his merry little way,
Yeah.
as if nothing happened.
You don't know where he went, did you?
He chartered a boat, a single-man boat, and headed north.
That's more knowledge than I had.
Because I'm pretty sure that's where we found him. Well, the crowbar. Because that would be north of where we're at currently.
Long way to go on a single boat.
It was your uncle.
That's true.
Because, well, thank you for at least answering some probably uncomfortable past questions that you probably didn't want to think about. But it is actually kind of relevant to what we're doing.
He nods and he smiles and he goes, "Sharing the past helps keep it alive." And that's one of the things Persephone always taught. She always had a weird way about her. But let us get back to town. Let us enjoy the evening.
Let's share a meal together. We're starving.
He nods and holds out his hand. He goes, "But I do require my key back."
She will happily hand him his talking key back.
He slips it in his vest pocket and stands.
She'll follow him out.
As you make your way back to town, you notice that the pathway leading back to the Rat Kingdom has started to see more growth. There's a strange aura of calmness, and the breeze seems to be picking up. You see less arrows and less dust of Fey as you enter into the tavern. The tavern people are sitting and talking. You see Everest and the Lich you now know as Auroch. They're sitting. A child is bouncing on Auroch's knees, a young ratling with 2 tiny wooden daggers in its hands, giggling as Auroch continues to bounce him. Everest is playing cards with a few old rats. The bartender sees you and gives us a nod as you find a table and sit. Sitting in this tavern with the laughter of old adventurers sharing stories of knights and dragons and dungeons that they've all encountered. And a smile on Everest and Kazmar's face. You look over and you can almost feel like you can feel happiness coming from Auroch as the young rat climbs down and begins to play fight with one of its brothers. And as this scene slowly plays out and the moon slowly rises into the sky, we will call this episode here.
Well, 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 me friends. It seems as if the adventurers have done these old heroes a favor, clearing out the manor and restoring a faith in the newer adventurers. Well, as the adventurers sit and relax and take solace in that they were able to help some old adventurers that are still just trying to do some good. It seems as if they have learned that King Leoris has been a thorn in many adventurers' sides. Well, it seems as if their story has a happy ending, and the adventurers now must find a way to the homelands. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. For the moon is high, and it is time for us to say farewell. But as always, me friends, may the dice gods bless your every roll.
We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.